everyone. My name is Sara Shikhman. I'm the managing partner at Lengea. We're a law firm that represents startups and small businesses in New York City. Today, I'm super excited to interview Alex Leykind. He is the managing director of Equitas Capital Group, and I'm here with him to learn a little bit more about what he does. I've known him for a long time and been his client, and he will share a lot of his strategies and advice for new entrepreneurs.
Thank you so much for having me, Sarah. Pleasure to be here, and very excited to share with you Equitas Capital. Equitas Capital is a commercial real estate advisory firm specializing in senior debt, mezzanine, and preferred equity financing, covering all commercial asset types anywhere in the United States.
So Alex, how did you get started in this industry? And where did you go to school? Where did you grow up? All the basics.
So all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
So I actually grew up in Brooklyn, in New York. Spent my whole life here. Actually went to City University of New York at Hunter College. And growing up in New York, the finance capital of the world, the real estate capital of the world, have always been very intrigued with the market and the real estate industry overall. And when I was finishing my degree at Hunter, fell in love and decided to try out the finance world, the real estate world, and it's been faith ever since.
And where did you work right after school?
So right after college, I worked at a small commercial brokerage in Long Island, where it was a good place for me to start because I got to learn a lot of hands-on. And after then, I went into the banking world and spent the next 17 years getting here today.
17 years. Okay, that's all it took, guys. 17 years. So if you're just in year one of your journey, you have 16 years to go.
Like nothing.
Yeah, it feels like yesterday, right?
Like yesterday.
What did you major in college?
So that's actually the funny thing. So in college, I majored in biology and political science with a minor in chemistry. Like every kid growing up, I wanted to be a doctor, and then realized that, I love the business aspect much more, and decided to go into the business world.
Has the business world been like you expected it to be, or is it completely different?
The business world is completely different. Growing up, everyone watched the same movies, the really rich guys. Unfortunately, that's not the case. It takes immense amount of hard work and dedication to your trade in any type of finance that you're in to be able to, rise to the top and become the best. And it's an ever-changing landslide.
So it's just like everything else. To be really good at it, you have to give it your all and work hard, right?
2,000%.
And do you find yourself working 9 to 5 or 9 to 9 or something else?
So 9 to 5 would be very nice. Unfortunately, it's like a 7 to 11 kind of day. But it doesn't feel like work when you love what you do and if you're devoted to what you're doing.
And how long have you been doing this?
So this year will be 18 years.
Wow. And are you working more or less now that you switched from corporate to being your own boss?
Probably 2 times more. And that's actually a big word of advice to all the aspiring or new entrepreneurs that once you do take that plunge, it's going to be a snowball rolling down a mountain. So you got to hold on and go for the ride.
Speaking of plunge, I could totally relate to that. I think when I first became an entrepreneur, the toilet got clogged and I looked around and there were no plumbers around. And I went to the store and I bought a plunger and I was sitting there trying to unclog a toilet. And so I think as an entrepreneur, there's a lot of that like unexpected work that you didn't think was going to be part of your job, but obviously is.
It's a lot of work that, goes above and beyond what you think your business is going to entail. I have a similar story. I needed to find out quickly how hard it is to find a good cleaning lady and what a hot commodity those people are.
How good are you at cleaning?
Not very good.
Did you become better?
Not so much. I found a good cleaning lady though.
Okay, great. What's your advice to people just starting out who want to become entrepreneurs but still have their corporate job?
So for me to get to where I am today, it took a long time. This is having my own venture and launching my own firm is something that I've worked on and had in my mind for the last 10 years. And as an entrepreneur, there's always a little bit of hesitation, whether from a financial standpoint, whether the uncertainty, whether, you don't know what the next day is going to bring. My word of advice is once in a while, you have to pull the Band-Aid off and take the plunge. And, the people that take the biggest risks get the biggest rewards.
And what motivates you to get up in the morning every day and keep going and come to work and work so hard?
So there's, I have many different motivations, but the primary is, I want to be able to be in a position to provide for my family, like everyone, ideally does. Of course, my goal is every day, every minute of every hour that I'm at work is to provide the best-in-class service to my clients, to my partners, and to my capital sources, because that's what makes the world go round in my world. And third of all, it's an ever-changing environment. Any given day is different, and that's the exciting part about it. You're not going to do the same thing every day. You'll have highs and lows, bad and good, at any given time of any given day, and that's the excitement that really drives me.
And what's the difference between commercial brokerage and residential?
Absolutely. So on the residential side, the financing world is predominantly all circling around the borrower. So the borrower's personal credit, the borrower's income, and their personal ability to repay back their obligations. When it comes to the commercial world, I always tell everyone to look at it as a business transaction, where the property, the collateral itself is the major driver. And that's how banks look at it also. It's analyzed as if it was a standalone business, whether it's owner-occupied by your business, whether it's investment, whether it's construction, or whether it's, multiple other commercial asset classes. And that's the major driver, where one is focused predominantly on the borrower, and the second one is focused predominantly on the asset type.
So let's say the borrower does not have any money or just has a very small sum, but the property is amazing, has great cash flow and a long history. Would they still be able to potentially get financing?
Absolutely. So because in the commercial world, it's so heavily concentrated on the actual asset and the property, as long as the property is solid and stable, like you mentioned, there will always be a capital source that will be willing to lend on a good asset, because that is their primary form of collateral and repayment anyway.
Awesome. And since the rates are super low right now, how does that impact the commercial world? Are they super low for commercial as well?
Absolutely. So most interest rates in the United States are based on the 10-year Treasury bond. And since that 10-year Treasury bond has been in a free fall over the last couple of weeks, commercial rates have substantially taken a dive as well. And as of today, they're a tad higher than residential.
Wow, that's surprising, because I think as a person who doesn't know a ton about commercial, I would think that they're like double or triple residential. But
actually, very, very close.
Wow. Okay.
Very,
Maybe
very
I should get into buying some commercial properties.
Absolutely.
I remember when you were handling my mortgage, and you were always very responsive, and out of everyone that I spoke to, you were providing the most thorough answers and just providing the best service. How do you do that for all of your clients? Like, do you have a large team of assistants, or it just seems like almost impossible to do at such a big scale that you do and at such a great service level?
So absolutely. So I can't take all the credit. I have a very, very good team with me, and they are my support staff, and they help build the infrastructure. But one of the pillars of what Equitas is based on is the deliverable of service. And our goal, and we strive for it every single transaction, every single client, is to provide the best-in-class service. So whether if you have to return phone calls at 9 o'clock at night, then we'll do it at 9 o'clock at night. If you have to answer calls at 6 in the morning, you'll answer calls at 6 in the morning. Our job is to be that trusted advisor to all our clients and partners. And you ever heard the saying, money never sleeps? So real estate never sleeps. And you always have to be there at their side to, be there in the trenches with them.
So you're kind of like a doctor on call.
Mortgage doctor.
Mortgage doctor. What's been your toughest day as an entrepreneur so far?
So there have been quite a few, roller coaster ride of the ups and downs. Toughest day, I would say, would be, day 2 of launch. Once the publicity and the dust settles and you actually have to get to work, you realize all the additional things that are on your plate all of a sudden that you never had to think of or never thought of before. And that usually adds a little more pressure, a little more stress, because there's only 24 hours in a day, unfortunately. But I think with the organization, with the right team around you, it all flows smoothly after.
How important is it having the right team and the right employees?
I think it is probably number 2 most vital aspect of any business. Of course, behind your goal and your strategy as a company overall. I think that your employees are purely a reflection of you and your company and your brand. And they are the support staff that every entrepreneur needs to be able to scale their business and to execute in their business. So for me personally, I could not do it without them. And I personally think that, it's teamwork makes the dream work. So cumulative team approach to every situation. 2 heads are better than 1. It's extremely vital and extremely crucial. If they're both good. They're both good. If not, you got to get a 3rd head. But it's something that is extremely vital and crucial. And for every entrepreneur, you're going to spend a lot of time at work. So I suggest you get the people that you enjoy spending the time with.
Well said.
Thank you.
So where can people find you online, and where can they find more information about your business?
Absolutely. So the best place would be Instagram, Equitas Capital Group. And we're here to answer any questions anyone might have.
And I encourage you guys to reach out to Alex. He's so responsive. I can't even stress that enough. So any questions, just reach out to him on Instagram.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you.